Hey, what's up guys? Zeta here. Happy Halloween everyone. So in this video, I'm going to be teaching you how to paste Indigo, which is what I use. So now the number one reason why people paste is because it's free and it's customizable. And there's a less chance of a paste getting detected than a pay to cheat. If you follow all the steps in this video, then you're going to have an undetected cheat. So if you're experienced already with pasting or coding, you might find this video a little bit cringy because I'm going to go over the common errors or the common places where people get stuck when they try to paste. So first off, what is pasting? Pasting is basically taking the source code of a cheat that someone else wrote, making it undetected and using it as your own instead of using another cheat like a pay to cheat, for example. Why Indigo? You might ask, why are we using Indigo? Because it's a very good legit hacking / closet cheating cheat. It calculates the FOV by pixels. That's another reason. It has configs for every single weapon. So before I jump in the video, I just want to let you guys know that this video might be kind of boring. I kind of fell asleep editing this video, so if you're not interested in pasting, then you might actually not enjoy this video. But anyways, guys, hope you guys learned something from this, and good luck. Alright, so the first thing you're going to want to do is we're just going to download Visual Studio. So I'm going to go to the downloads here. Now you're going to want to make sure that you download Visual Studio Community 2017. So make sure it's the community version. So I'm just going to hit download. And the reason we're using Visual Studio for our cheat is because basically pretty much all the Windows applications or anyone making Windows applications is going to be using Visual Studio. So because the cheat interacts with Windows, it gets Windows processes and stuff like that. That's why we're using Visual Studio. So I'm just going to wait for this to load. Alright, so once you guys are at the Visual Studio installer, you're going to want to make sure you check desktop development with C++, because what Indigo uses is it uses C++, and we have to install this to make sure that we're actually able to use everything which is included in the project. So I'm going to install this and I'm going to tell you guys after we're done. Alright, so once you've installed Visual Studio, the next thing you got to do is download Indigo. So I'm just going to search Indigo unknown cheats, and I should be able to find it right here. Link will be in the description just in case you can't find it. I'm just going to download the skin changer fix. Doesn't really matter which one you download though. So make sure you have an account on Unknown Cheats. This is where most of the sources are released, is on this website. So I'm just going to log in quick. Yeah, that's my username if you want to plus rep me. One sec here. Alright. Alright, so I'm just going to download this and... Alright, so once this is downloaded, just going to extract it. And what you're going to want to do is open the folder. And you're going to want to open the SLN folder. So, let's see. This is an SLN folder. You want to make sure that the folder or the file you're opening is an SLN folder, just so you open everything correctly. So I don't know why we're opening in Community 2015. I'm trying to open it in 2017. So sometimes there's going to be something called Build Tools version 141. So if you don't have Visual Studio 2017, you might get that error, which can just be fixed by getting Visual Studio 2017. And we're just going to select the dark theme because, you know, we're cool like that. So it might take a while when you first install just to open up everything. Alright, so once you open up everything, you're going to get this window. Now, you're going to want to change debug to release. So make sure it says release 86, just so you don't get any extra errors. Now, on the right, you're going to have all the files which are included on the cheat. For now, we're not going to mess with anything. We're just going to try to compile. So we're going to try to build the solution and see if we get any errors. And now you see the first error you're going to get is this d3dx9.h no file or such directory. So this is the error most beginners get when they first try to compile something like this. So this is a really easy error to fix. What it's basically telling us is that we don't have DirectX 9 or we don't have DirectX 9 on our project settings. So go to your project properties, go to Visual C++ or VC++ directories. Now there's an include directory and then there's a library directory. Now you're going to want to make sure that we have DirectX SDK in these library directories. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my hard drive and I'm going to go to program files, and we're going to see there should be something called Microsoft DirectX somewhere here. So it sees program files, DirectX SDK, whatever it's called. Alright, so in order to fix the DirectX 9 error, you're going to want to download the DirectX SDK from Microsoft. So we're going to download this. And yeah, I made the mistake is I downloaded DirectX Runtime, but what you want to do is download the SDK instead. So now once we install this, we're basically just going to have to plug in the directories in Visual Studio, and once we do that, we should be able to compile. Alright, so once this is downloaded, I'm just going to open it and install. I feel like it's taking a while right now. Just going to wait for that to open. Alright, so welcome to Microsoft DirectX SDK. Just gonna agree with everything and install. No, I would not like to participate Microsoft. So it should say it's gonna install to C program files Microsoft DirectX SDK June 2010. So let's just hit install. Alright, so apparently it failed. I'm just going to check the folders to see if we have everything. So C program files, x86, and it should say Microsoft DirectX SDK. So it says June 2010. So I'm just going to copy the directory. And we're going to go into our settings, and it should say DirectX SDK, and at the end it should be /lib/x86. So it's lib and then x86. So this is the folder you're going to want to have for the libraries. So I'm going to put this in right here. I'm just going to paste that in. And include directories, it ends in DirectX SDK. Oh, the include folder. So at the end of this, we're just going to go to the include folder and then copy this in here, paste it in here. Make sure it's right by the path where it says include path. So now we hit apply, and when we compile this, we should not get that error. So let's see. Alright, so it looks like everything's going smoothly, no errors. It's going to tell you it's creating a library in C wherever downloads Indigo Fix. So I'm going to go right there and go to my downloads. Wherever you downloaded, we don't want that. Fuck, okay. So wherever you want that is the Indigo Fix, and your DLL that you just compiled should be in the release folder. So we have the Indigo DLL right here. We created it on the 31st. So when you did that, you're not done yet. What we got to do is we got to fix the runtime error, which was basically caused by one of the CS:GO updates with the skins. So go to so go to your project. Now make sure you follow me closely because you don't want to get a bunch of errors. So go to dinskin.cpp and go to search for English. Should say English.txt. Now you're going to want to replace _English.txt with CSGO_English.txt. So that's going to fix the runtime error. Alright, so once you compiled your cheat, you should be able to inject. So make sure you inject an insecure because we haven't made it undetected yet. So I'm going to inject and I'm going to see you guys in 1 sec. Alright, so once we're on CSGO, I'm going to go up in the menu, go to the visuals tab, and I'm going to select weapon and Chams. Where's Chams? Right here. Okay. So there's two things that we want to fix. So there's these peahen_knife, which you want to get rid of, and we also want to have visible. If you want to have visible only Chams, so you can't see the Chams through the walls, I'm also going to be able to show you how to do that. And after we do that, I'm going to be showing you guys how to make it undetected. Alright, so we're going to open our project up again in Visual Studio 2017, and we're going to fix the Chams and the Weapon ESP. So once this loads, we're going to head over to esp.cpp, So right here, and I'm just gonna search for Chams. So this function, which is, or this if statement, settings ESP Chams, I have the fix right here. So there should be, let's see, if you scroll down, there should be if settings ESP visible is greater than or equal to 2 right underneath the if check team. And what you're going to want to do is just put double equals to 1. And what this is going to do is it's going to make whenever you have enemy only selected, it's going to make the Chams visible only. So once you do that, you basically fix that. Next thing we're going to do is fix that PN HUD in the text ESP. So I'm just going to search weapon, and you don't want the, well, we have this one, but you don't want the dropped weapon ESP. This is the actual player weapon ESP. And so right here where it says weapon string dot C string, what you're going to want to do is erase the first 6 characters of the string. So I have it right here, and I'm just going to copy and paste this. So right here where it says that, you're going to want to put weapon string dot erase 0 to 6 and then dot C string. So I'm going to put that in the description, and that's going to fix that. So we're going to save everything, and yeah, that's pretty much how to fix that. Now I'm going to show you a few other things in the source. One thing you might be wondering about is the menu. The menu is actually in client CPP, and you gotta scroll quite a bit to actually find it. Yeah, right here, starting right here, if tab selected equals 0, this is the first aimbot tab. So pretty much all the text right here, this is all the IMGUI. So this is basically the menu right here. This is the aimbot tab, and this is the first tab. So if you remove other things, this is always going to be the first tab because it says tab selected equals 0. So if you put this equal to whatever, it's going to be that number. So it's going to be the third tab. Well, actually, let's say you put this equal to 3, then it's going to be the fourth tab. If it's equal to 0, it's going to be the first tab. So if tab selected equals 1, this is the trigger bot. So that's why the trigger bot is the second tab, is because this number is 1. So if we would delete this whole thing, let's actually just delete everything in here. And we're going to delete this right here. And I'm going to just set this equal to 1, and then just pretty much just set everything to equal to a lower number. That way we can pretty much remove the trigger bot from the menu without changing anything else. So yeah, these are all the tabs and everything included in them. Another thing that I want to show you is the name of the cheat. If you go to GUI.cpp, let's see if we can find it. GUI.cpp, scroll down a little bit. These are the themes. So this is the default theme. Now all these styles and stuff like this, these are the colors in the theme. So this is red, green, blue, and then this is the transparency / alpha. So if you just mess around with these numbers right here, that's basically what I did. I took a few hours and I just changed these colors, and that's how I made my theme. But we want to look at the name of the cheat. So this is located in settings.h. Let me see here. Settings.h right here. So as you see how it says Indigo multi-hack, I'm just going to change this to paste. And I'm going to change this to aimbot. So yeah, these are all the names of the tabs right here. And then this is the name of the actual cheat. So yeah, that's where this is pretty much all located. Alright, so I forgot something. If you basically did what I did and you didn't change anything, you would have the name of your visuals tab is going to be TriggerBot, because it's going to say, okay, this is the first tab, right? The second tab is going to be named TriggerBot, right? Because it's the second tab and this is the TriggerBot. So you're going to want to do is just move everything over. So I'm going to move visuals back here, and then radar text, and so on. And once we're done with that, I'm just going to remove, so it's visual, aimbot, radar, and everything should be pretty much in order. So radar, knife bot, etc. And so we're going to save this, and I'm going to compile, and I'm going to show you when I'm done. Alright, so now I'm going to show you how to do junk code, how to put junk code in your project and basically make it undetected. So I'm on this site called Night Gang. It's going to be in the description. So what we want to do is generate the junk code, and basically I'm going to copy it from this function basically to the end of this function. So I'm just going to copy this function right here, and what we're going to do is we're going to add the function to the class. So see aimbot right here, we're going to go to the definition of this class, and so in public we're just going to add junk1 or void junk1 semicolon and then a semicolon, or I mean parentheses and then a semicolon. As you can see, it's not used. We didn't use it yet, but we're going to go into the aimbot.cpp, and we're going to put this, and we're going to just rename this junk1. Okay, and so what we basically did is we added a function junk1 to that class cAimbot. If we didn't add it to the class, then we would actually be trying to call a function from the cAimbot class that didn't exist in the cAimbot class. So, yeah, now that we did that, we can call this function. So now that we did that, we can actually use this function in our code. So if I build this, you can see we're not getting any errors. So if everything goes well, we should be able to compile this. You're going to want to make sure that you follow everything step by step. So if you just keep repeating this and you add functions and functions to the class, you can go to other classes. So for example, I'm going to go into client CPP. There's a bunch of classes in this source. Let me see. We actually go to something else. Alright, so for example, class CGUI, we could just go to this definition class. We could add another, void junk2, for example, and then put this in the CPP folder, CPP file. So it looks like we're almost done compiling this, and it looks like we succeeded. I'm just going to try this again because I don't think we got the pop-up. Alright, so when you get this message saying that it's unable to start program, not a valid Windows application, this basically means that you succeeded and you actually generated the DLL. All this is saying is that Windows cannot actually execute the DLL, which makes sense because Windows can't execute a DLL by itself. So yeah, once you've done that, we basically successfully made the new DLL. What you're going to want to do is just keep making new classes. So I could put void junk2. I'm just going to put void junk2, and then in GUI.cpp, I'll go to GUI.cpp. I'll just generate another thing, and then copy this to the next curly brace, GUI.cpp, and I'll just put this in here. Then I'll just put void junk2. And it's literally as easy as that. Make sure you're doing everything step by step so you don't get any errors. And now I'm going to basically show you how to remove features. So this is probably the most difficult part of making a paste undetected, is removing features. The wrong way to do it is by deleting files. So let's say triggerbot.cpp is somewhere in here. If we just delete this file, it's going to cause a bunch of errors. So you don't want to do that. What I'm going to do is, you see all these functions. For example, this relies on the class. This class exists in triggerbot.h, so these pretty much depend on each other. What I'm going to do is I'm just basically just going to delete everything from here, because we don't really need this right now. and then I'm also going to delete everything from here. But what's going to happen is, because, like, think of it like this way, everything in this source is basically interconnected. So if I delete this, there's a bunch of functions like the aimbot and stuff that are using the trigger bot. So those things are going to break and give us errors. So we're going to have to fix that. So let's say if I build this, we're going to get a bunch of errors. Use of undefined C trigger bot. So you're going to have to go through the source and find where the trigger bot is referenced and delete those references. So let's go to the error list. And you see right here, underlined in red, the aimbot is trying to use triggerbot, but it's not. It doesn't actually exist anymore because we deleted it. So we're just gonna go through and we're gonna delete pretty much wherever the triggerbot exists. So this function uses a triggerbot. We're gonna delete that. This uses a triggerbot, or this whole thing uses the triggerbot. This uses the triggerbot. Alright, so we're going to build this and see what happens. Alright, so we succeeded. But we're not even done yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into, let me see here. Alright, so in settings of CPP, what's basically going on here is it will save the trigger bot information in the menu. So first of all, we have to remove the trigger bot from the menu, and you also have to remove it from the config saving. So when the config is saved, so in here, I'm just gonna search for trigger bot. So all this stuff is saved when you save a config. So I'm just gonna remove pretty much everything up to the last curly brace and remove that. So there's no more trigger bot stuff, and just make sure that pretty much everything from trigger bot is removed. Namespace trigger bot is removed, and there we go. So now I'm gonna actually go into the menu, the client.cpp. Let's see here, it's right here. Alright, so another thing I want to mention is that right here, this is the base directory, so you can change where the configs will save right here. So if I put, C users, whatever, it'll save in there instead of basically the DLL directory by default. But we're going to go into the menu. So we know that the first tab, or where is it? We actually removed the trigger bot earlier, so it shouldn't exist. I actually forgot about that. But basically, since we already removed the trigger bot, we should be good to go. So I'm going to compile this, see if we broke anything. And apparently, yes, we broke something. So it says one unresolved external. So basically, somewhere in this program is using triggerbot, but it doesn't exist. So I'm going to have to search everything for triggerbot. So this, I'm going to have to delete this. I'm going to have to go delete this. I'm gonna have to, okay, I don't know if this is gonna work yet. It might still give us an error. Yeah, so there should still be instances of triggerbot in this program, or in this project I should say. So I'm gonna search the entire solution for triggerbot, and we can see this class has triggerbot, this has triggerbot here, and okay, we're including triggerbot.h, the namespace triggerbot, which I'm going to delete that. Trigger text, where we at? That actually might break something, so I'm going to just leave that. This is triggerbot in the menu, which we're not using anymore. This is using triggerbot. Oh, we don't want the else either. Okay, and no other instances. So let's actually see if that works. Yeah, it looks like we just fixed the problem. So basically, when you're removing a feature, you want to remove pretty much everything else related to that feature in the project. So we're going to test this, and we're going to see if we actually remove the trigger bot from our cheat. All right, so we build it without any errors. we made to the cheat. So right here, I changed the name of the cheat. I changed the name of one of the tabs, and as we can see, all the tabs are the right. Everything is corresponding to the tab name, like we did right there. So when I have Weapon ESP, as we can see, we just remove the PN HUD, and let's check the Chams. So we have to put the Chams on enemy for this to work, and then we're gonna put flat Chams. So now when I crouch, as you can see, we got visible only Chams. And if we put this to team, then we're not gonna have visible only Chams. So we got it to work. So yeah, we basically changed, we removed the trigger bot. There's no trigger bot in this menu anymore, and we also pretty much removed the trigger bot from everywhere in our source. So yeah, what you're basically going to want to do is keep adding more junk code functions pretty much everywhere using the method that I showed you, removing more features. And what you're going to want to do is download a program called SigBench from Unknown Cheats and compare the original Indigo DLL to your paste. And once you have about 40 to 45% difference, then you're basically guaranteed to have an undetected DLL. So I want to thank you guys for all the support. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.